Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Long Island War Gaming. This is Nick, and this is my last game, Game 5 of the Crossroads GT. And this is Game 6 of the weekend, so at this point I really was getting tired of Warhammer at this point, but I got matched up against Orcs and Goblins, which is great because that's what I play Chris with all the time, so I'm feeling good about this game. Let's roll into the scenario.
So this is fairly simple. It's a battle line with no special rules, just extra battle points. Plus 1 point if you have more banners held than your opponent. Plus 1 battle point for killing your opponent's least expensive hero. Plus 1 battle point for killing your all of your opponent's rare units. Plus 1 battle point if you have none of your core units in your own deployment at the end of the game. So it's almost identical to Chris's list, but it's a bit softer because having one large unit of Savage Orcs, there is a unit of Trolls too, so I'm pretty content with this because usually with the big Savage Orc unit I just have to avoid it, and once I get in contact with it, it gets kind of messy. But I mean, I've got Dreaded 13th, I've got Plague, so I'm feeling pretty good about these big units, and the only issue is look at that giant quagmire in the middle. It's going to be a pain in the butt for whoever has to pass over it. And the gutter runners are to the right. There's some war machines in the corner, so they'll probably go try to deal with them. And this is just a second shot of the battlefield. To the left, you can see there's a little circle base, or a large circle base with a little sign on it. That's a proxy for a mangler squig. And then there's some rock lavas and bolt thrower things along the back line. So he gets first turn. He just does a little bit of shuffling around with his units, nothing too crazy. He didn't move up full. The only really thing worth noting in this turn was the Stone Thrower got a direct hit and killed my Plague Priest. Turn 1. So my turn 1, I'll talk a little bit about his movement and mine. Bottom left screen you can see those Wolf Riders. They had Vanguard and moved up full, so they're behind my giant rats now. They pop some shots and kill a giant rat. That's fine. The Mangler Squig is getting really close to the. It's close to the building, and it's starting to start closing in on me. So I'm going to send the rat darts after that thing, and then the for my movement, Helped Abomination makes a mad dash across my battle line. I want him to have nothing to do with the Mangler Squig because that thing can dish out a lot of damage. I just kind of shuffle up a little bit here and there, and then the Doom Wheel makes a full run towards the. It was either a chariot or a pump wagon. I think it was a pump wagon, so I need to get in there and zap that thing because the pump wagon can do a lot of damage, especially if they pump harder and do extra impact hits. They can take out the Doom Wheel, so hopefully I can do some damage to him in the shooting phase. Gutter runners also go up and start popping some shots at that war machine. I do end up zapping the chariot off the battlefield, so now I'm just going to get wrecked by black orcs. That sucks, but what are you going to do? I mean, I wasn't going to have him sit out the whole game, and there was an entire forest there. I really didn't have the option to move around him. Surprise, surprise, the black orcs go in. Great weapons will probably do that thing in at strength 7. Last turn my rat dart moved up to get out of their front range so they couldn't charge me, and now he's right up against me. It's not a charge, but he's right up against me. And then the Mangler Squig goes right past the rat dart, staying out of line of sight. And then the other 3 blocks up there just kind of stay back. I mean, neither of us are making a mad dash for it at this point. We're going to see what our magic is able to do and our shooting. He was able to cast a spell onto my Gracier doing a wound, which sucks. I think it was that headbutt spell or something, but whatever, he's got a wound on him. I think I'll survive. Doom Diver destroys the gunner runners, and this one guy is fleeing off the battlefield. We'll see if he ever rallies. I'm able to grind a Black Orc with the Doom Wheel, but otherwise he destroys it, reforms, and faces me. I somehow managed to pass a leadership test with these guys to move, which is amazing. I get 12 inches, I'm able to wheel around and touch this guy and just blow up, which is great because now I don't have to deal with him. We had some discrepancy measuring that out, but honestly, when you're 2-man wide, to wheel around completely so you can face the opposite direction is only a handful of inches, and then these guys moved 12, so I had plenty left to just turn around and go touch him and blow up. So in compulsory, the Helped Abomination makes a mad dash towards the Savage Orcs, which is fine. I'm happy with that. The scary thing is I thought I was gonna be cute with my giant rats and go bait out the two fanatics, but I didn't realize how close it was going to be for him to maybe even hit my help at Abomination. So that was kind of a risky move. I wanted them out this way; they would just get in the way. But he didn't roll too high. I think he was like maybe 10 or 11 inches away from me, so it would have been tough. But he could have potentially got the help at Abomination, but no cigar. And this is the rest of my remaining moves. Mm, pretty standard. Uh, the Plague Monks did move up full. At this point, they are going to go ahead and engage with the Black Orcs. I think the multitude of attacks that I have and the impact hits and everything will do solid justice. The only thing is if he wants to go ahead and charge me, that's fine. He can go through the swamp. I don't care. But we'll see if he does that. Curse of the Horned Rat is off against the Savage Orcs. However, I don't roll extremely high, so I only peel off like a rank and a half. And this shot is just closing out my turn, showing you where everything is. And on to Orc Turn. So due to where the Fanatics were, the Trolls do not charge the Hell Pit Abomination. The Savage Orcs back up, the Night Goblins back up, the Black Orcs back up. So I'm actually, there's some increased distance in between us, so we'll see how that goes. The one Fanatic blows up, the second one is moving towards the Warp Fire Thrower. And nothing really happens in magic or shooting. I'm able to either dispel or deny any spells from getting through. So a rather quick game. This moves along fast. The Skaven Turn I, I make a successful charge actually against the Black Orcs. I lose about 7 or 8 guys to difficult terrain tests, which suck. However, the furnace itself makes it through, so I'm happy about that. I don't have my hero, but I should be able to do some nice damage to that unit. The Hell Pit Abomination needed about an 8 to get into combat. He rolled a 4, which sucks because I could have really used some impact hits against those Savage Orcs. I really could have used that combat, but now I'm just going to get charged by both units next turn. And the dreaded 13th gets off on the Savage Orcs. This time I get a nice high roll. So looks like he only's got about 6 guys left in a hero. That does come with the price of a miscast, so I lose, looks like 10 guys or so. And just like my games against Chris, the Plague Monks go in and wreak havoc upon the Black Orcs, which is wonderful. So there's like none left. There's like one left. I think it's the standard, and then there's the general. I believe his general's in this unit, so he's going to be a real tough kill. I fed him some giant rats because they needed to go in order to even make this charge. And this shot actually is the shot that shows you one BSB and the hero. So I'm feeling good about this game. Orc turn 4, I get flank charged. That's fine as long as that furnace is alive. I'm unbreakable as long as I'm in combat. He can't shoot at me. And the furnace is not touching the hero, so I'm not worried about it. I mean, I could take a wound from the Black Orc, but you know what? That Black Orc should be dead by the time my Plague Monks make some attacks against him. So, yeah, and flank charge on Hell Pit Abomination, which is going to get messy. The Savage Orcs, which are left to 2 guys, and the hero is, whatever. Also make note there is a Goblin Sorcerer or something running around somewhere. I think he's hiding behind that building, so I can't see him or shoot at him or anything. Essentially, he's going to be the cheapest hero, so I'm not going to be able to kill him or really do anything to him. So this combat happens. I take 2 wounds and do 1 or 2 wounds back. I don't think I rolled very well with my Hell Pit Abomination on whatever attack he was able to get. So I end up killing the banner in the unit. So the unit's gone. I got full points for the Black Orcs. Now I'm grinding with this hero, the Lord, the Orc General. and my strength 3 attacks, no matter how many I have, is just not going to get the job done with his armor and whatever else he's able to do. And the other issue is the furnace is not contacting him, so he doesn't need to take toughness tests. So I'm going to keep taking toughness tests, d6 toughness tests a turn, and grind myself down. I can't even wrecker attack him. If I can wrecker attack him, then I'd be able to do artillery dice strength 5 hits. That would be wonderful. But I'm stuck in combat in that corner, so what can you do? Bounce back to the picture, not sure why, but it looks like I'm able to kill a troll. Skaven Turn 4, I start closing in with some slaves. Figure I'd throw them in for some combat res. The slave unit moves up against the quagmire, whatever, the quicksand. This way I can get a flank charge next turn against those night goblins. And I send these guys in against the trolls. I mean, I potentially have 6 attacks coming against me and 2 stomps, but you know what, hopefully I can not take that much damage and just get, 3 flank charge, 3 rank bonus charge and flank charge. So I'm going in with 5 combat res, so I'm happy about that. He was saying that the flank charges cancel out. I don't know if that's right because he didn't flank charge this turn. I flank charge, but if there's 2 combats going on at flanks, I don't know how that really plays into it. So I get blessed with filth off onto these guys. The help abomination actually dies, and I got some rat dart things, the little swarms, and my poison attacks didn't really do anything for me. So he turns and reforms after winning the combat, and I am not looking to be in such great shape anymore. So I think this is where Orc Turn 5 starts. He goes ahead and charges the lightning cannon. That sucks, but oh well. During his turn, it's a grind everywhere else, but I know during shooting, he was able to score a direct hit with his stone thrower, leaving me with a very small unit of clan rats and a warp fire thrower. He takes down the lightning cannon without a problem, turns and faces me as my bunker unit is now turned to face them in a combat. And I'm losing guys quickly here. Looks like I have a lot of bodies, but he's smashing through them really quickly. So, my turn 5, I go ahead and throw in these slaves into those clan rats, into those night goblins. Somewhere along the way, I plague the combat where the night goblins and the plague monks are. Not sure when I did it, but it was a pretty big risk. I end up doing a handful of wounds to myself, but I have the size of that um, night goblin unit, which is great because once I can get rid of those night goblins, I can kill that hero. The thing is, though, the hero is no, maybe I wouldn't be able to kill a hero. Now that I remember, that hero has the stubborn banner, which is why that first turn I wasn't able to break him. I should have broke him just based on winning combat by like 20. But yeah, that hero's just gonna stay there with the crown of command or whatever. And oh my goodness, game 5, the Warp Fire Thrower actually does something. And he goes ahead and hits all of the trolls with flaming attack, strength 5, wounding on 3s, d3 multiple wounds. My opponent was surprised because when Skaven stuff actually works and you actually look at the profiles for their rules, it's like, really? This thing does d3 wounds and it's, strength 5 and all this madness. But yeah, when it works, it works. Otherwise, it goes and runs into the corner and blows up and kills all your own guys. But yeah, so I'm able to do a handful of wounds onto him, a few onto myself, but whatever. I mean, I just killed, what is it, 3 trolls, and there's like a hanging wound somewhere in there. These swarms go ahead and charge that one Savage Orc up there, so maybe I can kill him and get victory points for the whole unit. I come behind here and wreck these guys, not a problem at all. And that flank charge onto the Night Goblins does them in. I'm able to kill them and overrun. Now I'm stuck next to my Plague Monk unit, and it was interesting. I was going to see if I could try to reform so the Furnace can touch the hero, but the Furnace already has 5 wounds on it. I didn't want the hero to kill it and get the victory points for it. So I left the way it is, and I mean, I cannot, even with my combat res, banner, ranks, I can't kill this guy because he's stubborn and he's not breaking, so I'm not going to be able to run him down. Note that those two heroes, though, to the left of the slaves, are actually in the game. They're not casualties. That's the BSB and the Savage Orc caster or something coming from the Savage Orc unit. So my rat swarms are attacking that Savage Orc, but I'm actually not able to do anything to him. He passes his ward save, and I'm not able to wound him. So that Savage Orc sticks there, and I'm not able to kill that unit, and he ends up killing the swarms, but these guys are going to still be alive. So his last turn here, we just grind away. The Savage Orc behind him just grinds with the rat swarm and nothing happens. I think the rat swarm just dies from its instability. And we close out the game with these guys just fighting. And I'm unable to kill his three heroes at all. And the trolls are at full strength. And um, that Savage Orc is not dead. I mean, I'll still get half the points for that unit, but not all of it. So it just happens to be the way it works in Warhammer, where this game ended up being a lot closer than you think. Um, I mean, I lost my Hell Pit, my Lightning Cannon, and my Doom Wheel, and my Gutter Runners, which is a nice, sizable chunk of points. I get points for half of his Savage Orcs, all of his Black Orcs, all of his Night Goblins, and his Chariot Pump Wagon. But I mean, all of his War Machines are still in the field, and all of his characters survive. So it ends up being close to the point where I think we both get 10 and 10 on this game, which sucks because I felt like I got in there and wiped out a lot of guys, but I mean, my slave unit got down to half strength, so we got 50 points for that. And yeah, so um, with the battle points here, I ended up getting 2 of the 4. So I mean, I got more banners than he did. I did not kill his least expensive character. I did not kill all of his rare. The gunner runners, unfortunately, were unable to take out any siege weapons whatsoever, and I was just able to get my core units out of the deployment zone at the end there for that last battle point. So I think I walk away with 12 in this game, which is pretty cool. I'll do a closeout video on the tournament, but I walk away with 1 loss, 2 victories, a tie, and then I think this is either going to be considered a tie or maybe a minor victory on my behalf because I don't remember how many points my opponent walked away with. But yeah, so really fun game. I really thought I had this one by just wiping out my enemy, but the victory points don't lie. You can't argue that. So very good. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll do a video closing out on the tournament.